A few weeks ago, I saw a post on Reddit. Someone shared a photo of a receipt from 2021. Monstera albo, $1,400. Right next to it, a screenshot of today's price, $35. Facebook Marketplace. Same seller, no caption. Didn't need one. And the top comment, the one with all the upvotes, was just 3 words. Worth it, bro. That's the entire story of the rare plant market in 5 years. A bunch of people got convinced by Instagram that a plant with white patches on its leaves was some kind of investment. Then commercial growers figured out how to propagate them at scale. Supply went up, hype died. And now that one-of-a-kind plant is sitting next to a used air fryer and a set of 20-pound dumbbells that have never been touched. On some guy's Facebook Marketplace listing in Ohio. I'm not telling you this to laugh at anyone. I'm telling you because it proves something I've believed for a while now. Boring wins. Every time. The plants nobody posts about. Nobody starts Facebook groups for nobody puts on a waiting list. Those are the ones you actually want in your apartment. That's what today is about. I'm gonna walk you through 5 plants. None of them are sexy. None of them are gonna make anyone stop scrolling on Instagram. But every single one of them does something $1,400 Monstera albo couldn't manage. They are still alive 6 months later. Here's what we're doing. 5 plants. I'm not going to list them all up front because one of them you've definitely already dismissed. And I want you to hear my argument before you skip past it. The last one on the list, the closer. I'll just say this now. If you get nothing else from this video, get that one. I'll make the case when we get there. Let's start with numbers. If this is the kind of content you're into, practical, no fluff, stuff that actually works, hit subscribe. That's what we do here. Zamioculcas zamiifolia. Sounds like an antibiotic. In real life, everyone just calls it the ZZ plant. And if you've never heard of it, you've been sleeping on probably the most low-maintenance indoor plant in existence. Let me give you a number first. Monstera albo. The plant Instagram convinced people to spend thousands on is currently selling for an average of $35. Its peak was $1,200 to $4,000 depending on size. Now $35. Why? Because commercials, growers in 2025 figured out how to propagate it at industrial scale. Supply exploded, demand collapsed, and the rare plant turned out to be a temporary inconvenience for professional growers. Not a permanent feature. Meanwhile, the ZZ plant never needed hype. It didn't need it because it has something better than hype. It doesn't dot. Here's why. Under the pot you're gonna put it in, under the soil hidden below, are these thick rhizomes. Think of them like fat little potatoes. These are the plant's water storage tanks. It banks moisture in there and draws from it slowly when it needs to. What? That means in practice, you can forget to water this thing for 4, 5, even 6 weeks and it will be completely unbothered. It won't even look stressed. It planned for your negligence before you ever bought it. I have a ZZ plant in the corner of my home office. No window in that corner. The only light it gets is whatever bounces off the wall from a window about 6 feet away. I water it maybe once a month, if I remember. Sometimes I don't remember and it goes 6, Weeks. That plant has been there since I moved into this apartment. It's thriving, not surviving. Thriving. Every couple months, I notice a new stem pushing up from the soil, dark green and glossy. Like the plant just decided today was the day to expand. The leaves look almost fake, which is actually a compliment. They're so uniform, so consistently glossy and deep green. No brown spots, no yellow edges, that people come over and ask if it's real. That's what a healthy ZZ plant looks like. You put this thing in a matte black pot, stick it in a corner with a floor lamp nearby, and your room suddenly looks like someone made intentional choices. Which you did. For $12. Light. It survives in very low light. Not zero. No plant lives in complete darkness. But indirect light from a distance. Light bouncing off walls. Regular office lighting. All fine. It'll grow faster with more light, but it won't die from low light in most normal apartment conditions. Water. Let the soil dry out completely between waterings. Completely. Not slightly dry, bone dry. The only way to kill a ZZ plant is to overwater it. The roots rot. If the base of the plant starts feeling soft and smells off, it's so diced too. It's done. But if you just leave it alone and water it occasionally, it will outlast most things in your apartment. One heads up. Mildly toxic. Calcium oxalate. Causes mouth irritation if a dog or cat eats it. Not fatal, but it'll make for a rough afternoon for your pet. Keep it out of reach if needed. Price. Around $12 to $15 at Home Depot. Closer to $10 at IKEA. Grab a mate black pot. I'll link the exact ones I use in the description so you don't have to hunt for them. $8. Looks like it costs $30. Stick the whole thing in a corner. Walk away. That's the full effort required. I'm going to say something the plant community isn't going to love. The snake plant is the most underrated plant in the history of houseplants. And the reason it's underrated is because it's everywhere. And the reason it's everywhere is because it's actually great. Which is a pretty unfair cycle when you think about it. It's in every office lobby, every dentist waiting room, your mom's kitchen windowsill since 1989. And because it's everywhere, people treat it like it's basic. Like being into snake plants is the plant equivalent of saying your favorite band is the Beatles. Yeah, everyone knows them. That's because they're genuinely good. Here's what the snake plant does that nothing else on today's list can do. It works the night shift. Most plants, and this is something nobody tells you. Most plants breathe the same way you do at night. They take in O2 and release CO2. So you and your plant are competing for the E, same air, while you're trying to sleep. Not a disaster, but not ideal either. Snake plants use a different mechanism called CAM photosynthesis. Crassylation, acid metabolism, if you want the full term. File that away for a dinner party. In plain English, snake plants keep their pores closed during the day to conserve water and open them at night to exchange gases. Result, while you're sleeping, it's pulling in your CO2 and pushing out fresh oxygen. It's doing the overnight shift. It's the only roommate I've ever had who didn't complain about my sleep schedule. NASA tested this in 1989 in what they called the Clean Air Study. Snake plants removed formaldehyde, benzene, trichloroethylene, xylene, and toluene from their test chambers. I want to be straight with you though. NASA ran those tests in sealed chambers, not real apartments. Your apartment has windows, air moving in and out. The real-world effect is smaller than the lab numbers suggest. But the mechanism is real. This plant genuinely processes toxins. More than your throw pillow is doing, that's for sure. Personal story. I bought my first snake plant at IKEA. $8. Zero research. I grabbed it because it was near the exit. And I felt guilty leaving with just meatballs and a bag of tea lights. I put it in the plastic IKEA pot it came with, set it on the floor next to my nightstand. That was 2 years ago. I repotted it exactly once into a $6 clay pot from Home Depot. I've watered it maybe 30 times total in 2 years. It's now about 3 feet tall, perfectly symmetrical, and it makes my bedroom look like someone made one deliberate interior design decision. That decision cost $8 and happened because I like meatballs. Care. Low to bright indirect light. It handles both. Water every 2 to 4 weeks, less in winter. The only way to kill it is overwatering. The base will get soft and mushy. If that happens, it's over. Otherwise, leave it alone. Don't move it constantly. Don't mist it. Just let it stand there and do its thing. Mildly toxic to pets. Saponins causes nausea if eaten. Not fatal. Price $8 to $10 at IKEA. $12 to $20 at Home Depot depending on size. The $8 one from IKEA is plenty, just buy it. Hold on. Before you skip this section because you think I'm about to talk about Monstera albo, I'm not. I will never tell you to buy a Monstera albo. What I want to talk about is its regular unglamorous sibling. The one smart people actually buy. Monstera deliciosa, Swiss cheese plant. Not variegated, not rare. No waiting list, no Facebook group with 50,000 people anxious about their soil pH. Just a deep green plant with holes in its leaves that look like someone went at them with a cookie cutter in an artistic mood. And it looks almost identical to what you see on Instagram, minus the white patches, at a fraction of the price. Here's the number I want you to keep in mind. Monstera albo right now is $35. Down from $1,400 at peak. Regular Monstera deliciosa, the non-variegated one I'm talking about. You can usually find for under $15 at Home Depot. I saw one specifically tagged at $14.88 the other day. Your store might be $1 or $2 different depending on where you are, but you get the idea. Leaves the size of your face when mature. Dramatic. Architectural, unmistakably tropical. And it's significantly tougher than the albo version because it doesn't have to deal with the genetics of variegation. The white sections on variegated leaves have no chlorophyll. They can't photosynthesize, which makes the plant weaker and more sensitive. Plain green Monstera. Full chlorophyll, robust, doesn't need you to worry about it. Monstera deliciosa gets genuinely impressive indoors if you give it space. Leaves can get up to 2 feet wide when mature. And stems will climb if you give them something to grab onto. This is not a corner plant, it's a statement. Plant. Put it next to a sofa, next to a bookshelf, anywhere that needs a focal point, and it delivers. Light. Medium to bright, indirect is ideal. It tolerates low light, but the fenestrations, the holes in the leaves, show up less when there isn't enough light. Keep it near a window, but out of direct. Sun direct sunlight burns the leaves. Water when the top inch of soil is dry. Leaves curling is a sign it needs water. Yellow leaves mean you're watering too much. Toxic to pets. Calcium oxalate. Keep it out of reach. Price: under $20 at most Home Depots. Buy the smallest one if you want to save money. Monstera grows fast when it's happy, and you'll have a genuine statement plant within a year. That's the smart man's version, not the $1,400 one. Never the $1,400 one. I want to address something. If you're watching this and thinking, this guy is talking about plants like it's the Super Bowl, I get it. I was that guy. I was the person who walked through the plant section at IKEA and felt like it had nothing to do with me. Then one day I looked around my apartment and realized it looked exactly like a storage unit with a sofa in it. I had all the furniture, I had all the stuff, but nothing was alive. Nothing had texture, nothing indicated that an actual human being had made actual choices about how to live there. One ZZ plant and one snake plant later, $20 combined, and it was genuinely different. Not because plants are magic, but because a space needs something organic. Something with color that isn't a screen. Something that isn't a flat surface. That's all I'm saying. Not become a plant person. Not join a community. Just buy 2 plants and let them do their thing. 2 more to go. 1 for design. 1. The last one. That I think actually closes the whole argument. There's a moment in certain apartments that I've noticed. The lamp is on, not harsh overhead lighting, but a floor lamp or table lamp in the corner. Warm light. And there's a plant nearby. Big dark leaves catching the light in a way that nothing artificial can replicate. That's a rubber plant. And in 2026, it's having a moment. Ficus elastica, scientific name. The leaves, depending on variety, can be deep glossy green, or, in the burgundy variety, a dark wine red. That's almost black in low light. The burgundy is the one I want you to look for. That color, dark, rich, like someone made a design decision, is something you can't get from any other plant at this price point without complicated care requirements. It looks expensive. It isn't. It's around $25 at Home Depot. Another NASA-approved air purifier for what that's worth. Same deal as the others. Directionally good, not a miracle. Rubber plants grow slowly and stay manageable. Indoors in a normal apartment, you're looking at 2 to 3 feet in the first couple years. Then it can keep climbing to 8 or 10 feet if you let it. But it doesn't rush. You can shape it by pinching growth tips if you want to keep it compact. Or just let it go at its own pace. Both work fine. Light. Here's the deal with that color. It needs bright, indirect light to keep that deep, moody burgundy. Put it in the dark and it fades to green. That's not a vibe. But keep it out of direct, scorching sun too. That just burns the leaves. Find a bright corner, away from direct sun. And it stays looking expensive. Water when the top half of the soil is dry. Every 1 to 2 weeks depending on season, less in winter. One important note, rubber plants don't like being moved around. If you shuffle it from room to room, it'll drop leaves to make its displeasure known. Find it a spot, let it settle, and leave it there. It's like a good employee who does great work, but absolutely hates getting their desk reassigned. Toxic to pets. Ficin and ficussin in the sap. Keep away from dogs and cats. Price: $20 to $45 at a Home Depot, depending on size. Go mid-size rather than the smallest. Rubber plants grow slowly, so starting with something that already has some presence saves you time. $35 for a good-looking one is fair. Matte pot, dark pot, floor lamp nearby. That's the whole recipe. Last one. And I want to be straight with you before I start. If you don't buy a single other plant from this video, not the ZZ, not the snake plant, not the Eat Monstera, not the rubber plant, buy this one, just this one. I genuinely believe this is the plant most people should start with, and most people don't have it for completely the wrong reason. That wrong reason is pothos is too common, too basic. Grandma has one. The dentist's waiting room has one. The DM vice office has one. I don't know who waters it, but it's alive. And that's the entire argument right there. Here's what I want you to hear. Common doesn't mean wrong. Commons usually means proven. Pothos, Epipremnum aureum, has been grown indoors for decades because of one simple reason. It works. In essentially every condition. No meaningful exceptions. Let me paint you a picture of what pothos actually does in an apartment. You have a shelf. Bookshelf, floating shelf, any surface at a height. You set a pothos on it in a small pot near the edge. Within a few months, the vines start trailing down. Not messy, elegant. Green, glossy, trailing. Down with gravity in a way that nothing you can buy at IKEA comes close to replicating. If you let it go, pothos can trail 10, 12, 15 feet. One plant. One small pot. One shelf. And it transforms the entire vertical dimension of the room. That's not magic, that's biology. Pothos is a vine. In nature, it climbs other trees to reach light. In your apartment with nothing to climb, it trails down instead. And it looks genuinely great doing it. Care. And this is where I think you're going to be surprised by how simple it actually is. Pothos handles low light well. It handles you forgetting to water it for a week or two. When the wise leaves start to droop slightly. Not perky the way they usually are. That's your signal it needs water. You water it. Within a few hours, the leaves perk back up. That's the entire communication system. Nothing ambiguous. Nothing you have to guess. Yellow leaves, you're overwatering. Pull back. Pale leaves, losing their color. Not enough light. Move it slightly closer to a window. Variegation. The yellow or white streaks in the leaves. Fading to solid green. Also not enough light. That's the complete troubleshooting guide. 3 scenarios. For a plant that can live 10 years in your apartment, it hits the trifecta. Looks good, hard to kill, and yes, it cleans your air too. You already know the caveat. Price, $8 to $15 at Home Depot. IKEA has them for around $6. This is also the plant you buy once and then propagate endlessly. Cut a section of stem. Drop it in a glass of water. Roots appear within a few weeks. In a year, you can have 3 or 4 plants from the same original $8 purchase. No other plant on today's list is that generous. Toxic to pets if eaten. Standard caveat. Here's why I'm ending this video with pothos instead of anything else. The whole argument today has been that boring wins. That the plant with no Instagram clout, no waiting list, no four-figure price tag, that's the one you actually want. And pothos is the most perfect embodiment of that argument. It's at the DMV because it survives the DMV. It's at your grandma's house because it's been alive there for 30 years. It's common because it's proven. And it will trail down from your shelf, green and glossy and alive. While those $1,400 Monstera albos from 2021 sell for $35 next to used air fryers on Facebook Marketplace. Boring wins. It always does. All right, 5 plants. That's the list. If you're feeling overwhelmed and don't know where to start, don't buy all 5 at once. Buy one. One trip to Home Depot. One Sunday afternoon. Never had a plant before? Start with a ZZ plant or the pothos. Under $15. No further research needed. Just put it somewhere and don't overwater it. Want a statement piece right away? Monstera Deliciosa. Under $20. Near a window. Done. Want something that looks like a deliberate design decision? Rubber plant burgundy. Dark pot. Floor lamp next to it. That's it. Want the most proven, easiest, most rewarding plant on the list? Pothos. $8. Put it on a shelf. Let it trail. Come back in 2 months and you'll understand why that DMV plant has been alive for 20 years. The thing about all of these is they don't need you to become a plant person. They don't need you to join a subreddit, buy a moisture meter, or stress about soil pH. They just need you to buy them, put them somewhere reasonable, and leave them alone. That's the deal. And that's why they're winning while rare plants are getting sold alongside old kitchen appliances on Facebook Marketplace. Drop a comment. What are you working with right now? Got plants already or starting from zero? Either way, I'm not judging much. Next video, I'm getting into something more specific. How to set up a WFH corner that actually looks decent on Zoom without spending more than $75 on the whole setup. Plants are part of it. Stay tuned.